It's the 10 to 1 podcast with your host, Brad Oman, featuring Ben Konowitz and Nate Loucks. And here's the podcast.
What'd you think of that one?
Yeah.
I
I don't know. You seem like you're sick. Are you sick? Oh, wow. That's a Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger's like,
Has he ever hosted SNL? Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I'm sure.
He
right?
must have, right?
I feel, if he didn't, that would be like, why not?
But I've never seen
What-
a clip of him.
Yeah, I can't recall any clips
He was
either.
no, so he did. He came on with Hans and Franz.
I do remember that.
but I'm not sure if that was for SNL or it was just for a different PSA.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I'm sure Nate's looking it up right now
Man,
as we
I am.
delay
I am.
and see if we can
Is
figure this
Arnold-
out.
He has not. He made a cameo.
That does surprise me.
That is crazy.
He made a cameo in the 1988 episode hosted by Danny DeVito. What film was that?
For twins.
Star Wars.
Correct.
For twins.
And then he did a filmed cameo in the 1991 episode with Christian Slater.
To promote Total Recall.
Is that right?
Or Terminator.
I mean, 91 was
That was the
Total
pumping up with Hans and Franz, I think, right?
That would have been Terminator 2, right?
Recall. They was filming in 91. It came out in 92.
Didn't Total Recall come out in 90?
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think D2 came out in 91. I think you're right.
He this was
No.
he was
I'd like to thank Lorne Michaels for being the Red Hot Chili Peppers of the band of the year. I'd like to thank everyone, the best cast and the crew in the United States of America.
I want to thank you, the people of California.
Even though I'm not the governor yet, I will be.
But when he says California, you got to do
California.
yeah. There's like a Cali, like
I was going to be in the Californians,
mhm.
but that hasn't existed yet.
See, why haven't they done that?
Yeah,
Why-
seriously.
what are we
Man, what are we doing over here?
Yeah, I'm seriously like kind of floored that Arnold Schwarzenegger hasn't hosted SNL. That's wild.
Here's me and my best friend Hedwin Harry. We're over here.
I do.
Hedwin Harry Tasker from Two Lives.
We should write a fake episode of SNL where Arnold Schwarzenegger
From the
hosted.
90s, though.
Yeah,
From the early
yeah,
90s.
exactly.
With references that he wouldn't know.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, you guys, we did it. We had another great episode of Maya Rudolph hosting SNL.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Wow.
Future vintage SNL.
I love it. I love
It
it.
would be pretty great bit to do, actually.
Yeah, I'm not joking. Let's write it. Let's do it.
But what we do have is the latest episode of Saturday Night Live, season 49. This is the penultimate episode of the season. Maya Rudolph hosted for her third time. She is actually among a small group of former cast members who have all hosted 3 times. Do you guys know who they are? Only 3 times, not 3 or more. Only 3 times.
Amy Poehler,
Not Amy Poehler.
Tina Fey.
Not Tina
No,
Fey.
she's 5 times. She's a 5
They
time.
literally just had a whole
Yeah, I'm sorry.
award
I
ceremony
forgot
for
about
it.
that. I'm sorry. 3-time hosts only.
Oh, I know. Who's the only murders in a building guy?
Steve Martin.
No, the other one.
Martin Short.
Martin Short.
False.
Steve Martin was never a cast member.
That's true, and he's hosted like 20 times. So
Yeah.
And it's definitely not John Goodman.
nope. Let's count down the one starting with the most.
And then that have not actually been cast members.
Okay, I'm
either.
gonna tell you.
Who has it been?
Eddie Murphy,
3 times.
Chris Rock,
3 times.
Jimmy Fallon,
3 times.
and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Okay, 3 times. All right.
Yeah, those are the ones.
How about Rob Schneider?
Rob Schneider. I don't know if he's ever hosted. Actually,
He has not.
There you go. We're missing out.
I don't think he's gonna.
Why? What do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
Um,
What'd you think of this episode, guys? What was the vibe like? Were you excited for this?
I was fairly excited because I like Maya Rudolph, and like it's always fun when a former cast member comes back because like there's gonna be throwbacks, you might have some special guests, that kind of thing. Overall, I would say I was not in love with this episode, but I was in love with Maya Rudolph in this episode.
I will agree with that. She
That's
was
exactly
not the issue.
my feeling
She was
is-
not the problem.
In which we've talked about this before. Sometimes the sketches are fine, and the host just doesn't do the job that's needed to perform the sketch. This, I think, was just a problem with some of the sketches because
Yeah.
she performed at a high level.
She really did. She's great. Like she's always been great when she was on SNL. She was fantastic, and yeah, there was just something about the sketches that a lot of them didn't feel like they really landed. Some of them felt like they could have used another draft.
Unlike the Kate McKinnon episode where it was stilted because she is supposed to be the weird one
And supposed to blend in.
and now she's asked to be the the straight person. Unlike that episode,
She's gay.
okay, Maya Rudolph is just playing and having fun, and it's firing on all cylinders. So
Yeah.
she fit in perfectly. We'll talk about the sketches individually, but I think we all agree that it could have been better, but Maya Rudolph was not the issue.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of having fun, let's just get into it because I was definitely having fun at the very top of the show because the cold open was not a political sketch, was not anything satirical as far as the headlines are concerned like that, but it was timely because it was a Mother's Day 2024 cold open. Now, I will tell you guys, usually when we do this, Nate has a whole list of the writers that have done every sketch so far. We're recording this on Sunday night. And for some reason, the available list of writers was extremely limited before we recorded.
We record on Sunday night. Normally, we record on Monday, which the list has been updated online by a lot more people.
and because they don't publish this, right? We find this out from the writers.
Yeah, the writers
who
will post
something on Instagram usually.
There are
that they
a
wrote.
couple people online who
Yeah.
will collect this information, like on the SNL wiki or like someone on Twitter who has just taken it upon themselves to post whenever they find out something from Instagram or something like that.
But this isn't like anything that we can find out online through NBC
yeah,
or the credits.
The only writers that are specifically listed on a sketch by sketch basis in the official credits on SNL are for the pre-tape sketches. Otherwise, they don't attach writers
those are
to
also,
specific sketches.
They have directors and stuff like that. Those
Yeah.
are a little bit bigger deal.
Yeah, exactly.
So Brad had to do it this time, and buckle up.
I didn't do the pre.
Nate was
buckle up.
Nate was real busy with his pastor communion, youth service,
Yeah,
whatever it
was
is, kind of
communion
thing.
day.
But yeah, so I did my best. I do have some of the writers, but for a lot of them, I don't. But I did my best.
All right.
So, Mother's Day 2024 cold open. Almost the entire cast brings their mothers on the show, except for Please Don't Destroy, who are only allowed to bring their fathers. Do you know who the two cast members were who did not have their mothers appear in this bit?
I let me just think about this.
Michael Che.
Correct, Nate.
Heidi Gardner?
Correct, Ben. Those are the only two. Michael Che's mother, I believe, passed away not too long ago, if I'm remembering correctly.
What about Heidi Gardner's mother?
Heidi Gardner's mother is very much alive and is very much part of her life and is a very big fan of Heidi Gardner. So I'm not entirely sure why she wasn't there.
I love the fact that it could be literally a scheduling conflict.
She
She's
is
like,
from Los Angeles, so pretty far flight.
That's fair. Yeah, to be on national television with your daughter on Mother's Day. I get it.
Exactly.
But also, listen, it's Mother's Day. It's her day.
Speaking of Mother's Day, do you guys remember, because this is a fairly recent development in SNL history, the previous times they have done Mother's Day celebrations like this in the past?
I mean, I do remember this happening, and I remember Keenan's mom.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Keenan's mom's one of the best, for sure.
So I'm sure they've done it 2 or 3 times, right?
They have done it exactly 3 times. They did it on May 9th, 2015, with host...
Sure.
Yeah? No? Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, sure you were. May 12th, 2018, with host...
Justin Timberlake.
No. You're thinking of the Mother Lover episode where there were only 2 Mother's Day sketches, and it was in 2009.
Okay, well, I tried.
Amy Schumer hosted
Yep.
in 2018, and then the most recent one was May 8th, 2021, with one of our favorite hosts.
2021?
Travis
2021?
Kelce.
2021
Travis
was
Kelce.
one of our favorite hosts, Chris Hemsworth.
Nate, you're very close. It was Elon Musk.
One of our favorite hosts. you rascal.
I got you. And Elon Musk's mom was there, so not disappointed in her stupid son. What did you guys think about this opening? Obviously, it's adorable.
It's charming.
It's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
You know.
It was...
I'm never going to expect
Yep.
the moms to like nail the lines and be. Of course not. It's just
Part of the fun.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
It is. I have no problems with this whatsoever.
This was, like you said, this was the start of an apolitical episode almost as a whole.
Yeah,
Other
for
than
sure.
Weekend Update, there just wasn't a lot, which I was
I'm
okay
fine
with.
with.
It actually felt kind of almost at times like a throwback episode, like an episode that could have aired when Maya Rudolph was still a cast member.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
When things can be evergreen,
I wasn't upset about it.
No, not at all. It was adorable. I love seeing everybody's mom.
I loved Marcelo Hernandez's mom.
Oh,
just
God.
like,
It's so funny.
and Michael Che.
Yeah.
He gave me his phone number.
And then we also had the my favorite bits were just because they was extra cute because of this, because Ego Wodom's mom and Bowen Yang's mom still have heavy accents.
Oh, sure.
But they were like pushing through it and everything. And I love that Bowen Yang helped his mom land the hall pass punchline too, because he was like, "Oh, she's not gonna get it. We got to get it out
and
there."
And then Ego's mom. I mean, I rewound it just so I could kind of hear what she was saying. And just it's a great bit though.
It is.
Like she would have been a doctor. Like, thanks, Lauren. Like, that's a great joke.
The way she was thinking Lauren Michaels.
Oh,
was
gosh,
really funny.
yeah. No, I really, really like that. No, man. Yeah, Bowen's mom. She just went for it, man. That's awesome, and he was so happy. Oh, yeah. It's a great way to start off a feel good episode.
That
basically.
was part of the fun for me, or the charm of it is. Like, the cast members loved having their moms there.
Of course.
Like, it was just it was
Yeah.
so much fun for them. And
Michael Longfellow's was good too. I mean, they're all very good, but just except for the ones that bomb, those are for dad.
Michael Longfellow has a stand-up bit about having a super attractive mom that he talks about.
Marcelo and Hernandez and Michael Longfellow, not unattractive mothers.
Yeah,
good job.
That's because they're still children,
saying,
and their mothers are like
my age.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I realized that Marcelo Hernandez's mom is 41.
Yeah, probably. So that was the cold open. And I don't know if it was the cold open that did it, but in this episode, Mikey Day has now officially been in 600 SNL sketches.
Good for him.
And Marcelo Hernandez hit 100 sketches.
Man, both well deserved. That Mikey is, from behind the scenes of what I've read, such a prolific writer.
Yeah.
And can just churn out 17 ideas in a week.
Yeah.
That's
and man,
crazy.
the echo of that Beavis and Butthead sketch is still hanging around.
It
huh?
really is.
it is one that's going to live in
Seriously,
infamy.
because not only was it huge, immediately, it was one of the most watched SNL sketches in recent history. They appeared on the Fall Guy red carpet as Beavis and Butthead, did interviews as the characters, not Beavis and Butthead, but
as the guy, Jeff and whatever his name was.
And then now you have this reference to Mikey Day playing Butthead here in this sketch.
Yeah,
so
it's got some legs.
yeah, it's not going anywhere.
And I'm fine with it. It's the new David S. Pumpkins.
Yeah, I just hope that they
No.
don't.
Maybe they'll do a Halloween
No,
special.
they won't bring them back, but they'll do another different character. Like they've.
I hope they wait though.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I hope they wait.
Well,
I hope they
Gosling-
do it next week with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, they're gonna do it with Gosling again. I'm sure next time he's on, but he's only on every 4 years.
Maybe
true.
that'll change.
So,
You know what? He could break less though. I will say. I like it, but one thing I didn't really talk about last time was how annoying it gets when he breaks constantly.
Who?
Gosling.
What about,
I get it.
What
it's fun.
about you're pointing fingers at Gosling, but what about your girl Heidi Gardner, who
it's rare for her to break.
Not anymore.
No,
She's
breaks
had a
all
little
the
bit of a issue here and there.
Yeah.
But by and large, Gosling broke on a Jimmy Fallon level on every sketch. Let's
But
pump the
Gosling
brakes.
does though.
But
He
it was
always
also
has.
never disruptive to the point where it really felt like it threw anything off, and that's the key.
It's next time, Baby Goose, just back it off a little bit, okay?
But he does. That's his thing. He always does. Right?
Okay.
Like, he always-
All right, the Mother's Day monologue. Maya Rudolph returns to host for a third time. She talks about celebrating Mother's Day on Saturday Night Live before learning that she is mother.
So I didn't know what this is.
It's basically the mom version of being daddy.
Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense. Sorry, I should have said I know what it is now. I didn't know when the sketch started what that was. So good for her.
Another throwback though to grandiose musical performances. Like we haven't had a great musical performance in the monologue in a while.
And this one was intricate.
And
too.
this was advanced.
Yeah.
This was a whole theater
This is something that
performance.
honestly only somebody like Maya Rudolph can pull off. This is Maya Rudolph, Fred Armisen level, musical improv, or not improv, but musical.
No, it was impressive, especially because
choreography.
it has a hip hop cadence to it, and so you're getting a lot of lyrics out, and so it's not
It
only
was
has
almost
to,
like Madonna Vogue a little bit.
absolutely, yeah, that little break where she's doing the speaking lines, but it's and doing that rhythmically and keeping up with his heart. She did have one flub where it messed up a rhyme when she was talking about the Martha Stewart had good her, and then Mary Catherine Gallagher. It was supposed to be her, but she said hair, so it didn't rhyme, and it felt weird.
There was one section too where I felt like she was getting out of breath.
Oh, for sure. And how could she not? She's running around.
Like,
and then there was the only other one. One of the dancers stepped in front of her a little bit, and she's like kind of broke and smiled a little bit because did you see that part?
No, I didn't.
So when they're busting through the doors, and then there was a kind of a curtain sheet that was up.
Yeah.
2 dancers were supposed to kind of go in front of her, and one kind of clipped her a little bit, and you could just see her stop and smile and kind of be like, "Oh!"
That's
it
funny.
was really great. But with that happening, just being able to just get right through it, it didn't throw her off. Like, that's crazy. She's a consummate professional. She was fantastic. I loved it.
And I imagine aside from having a long history with SNL too, don't forget she also had a variety show with Martin Short that she did for a while.
She's just that person, right? You can
is.
trust her with this. No, it couldn't have probably, even with those small little foibles, it couldn't have gone better. Like,
and even at the beginning, with Sarah Sherman and Bowen Yang, you could just see how much like she is thought of in the cast, right? As they look at her, as they talk to her, and they set up that whole number. Like
they picked the right 2 cast members to bring a very vibrant vibe too, because
a diva.
It
right?
was very much Bowen being yes, and it's that
like he was having fun,
forcefulness.
Yeah.
It was needed.
So I believe that was written by Jake Nordwin, because he posted on Instagram that most of the credit for this goes to August White. Funnily enough, if you don't know this, August White is a black woman. So
August White.
And I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce her first name, because it's August with an E at the end.
Yeah, I never know. I never know.
Who knows?
It's Augustus. It's Augustus.
And I even tried to see if there was an interview where someone said her name.
I always go to YouTube. I'm
Never.
like, let's see if I can find.
And they specifically mentioned that the choreography was done by Sarah Hogleby. So congratulations, Sarah, for doing an amazing job pulling off.
That's actually pronounced September.
Oh,
sorry.
All right. So here's another fun fact about Maya Rudolph hosting SNL. Do you guys pay attention to the bumper photos when?
I do.
Yeah, Ben, do you? Or you don't give a shit?
It's not that I don't give a shit. I look at them, I'm like, oh, and then I move on.
Well, I do, particularly because I use a bumper photo, like when.
Yeah, of course. For the episode art, I use one for the front page image for my review on SNL.
I only do really notice them when it's clearly a takeoff on a famous
something else.
And when that connection hits my brain, I do
notice.
notice.
You see the connection for this
I
one?
did not.
No. Ben's probably one of the people who's definitely not going to get this.
This is a little bit harder though.
It is a little harder, but it is something she's been doing for a while every time she hosts. So for those of you that don't know, Maya Rudolph's mother is Minnie Riperton. She is a famous soul singer and songwriter.
That sounds like a made-up name.
The original "Lovin' You" song, it was sung.
It was in like a Burger King commercial.
It was sung by Maya Rudolph's mom.
Yep.
So some of the bumper photos that she did this time are recreations of her mother's album covers, and she's done this several times before.
And you knew this?
No,
just by looking.
no,
Okay.
I did not.
Come on.
I did not.
That's research, buddy.
Okay.
That's research.
All
He
right.
did my job.
That's called doing the work.
Okay, because you guys said when it's a famous recreation, and like you were in on it, like, oh, I saw that, and I was like, nah, totally, Minnie Rippenhauer.
No, I learned this doing the research for this
sorry,
episode.
what's her name?
Minnie Riperton.
Ripperton.
I like Rippenhauer.
Rippenhauer. Shit. Sorry. That sounds disrespectful. I'm sorry.
All right, there you go. Hot Ones with Beyonce 2. Beyonce, played by Maya Rudolph, returns to Hot Ones in her Cowboy Carter era. Mikey Day plays host Sean Evans, and Kenan Thompson appears as Beyonce's assistant to Raphael.
This is a much better Sean Evans impression.
Yes.
Mikey Day's voice was way high the first time he did it.
Yes.
And it's like he actually paid attention to his cadence and tried to mimic him a little better.
Yes.
Which means that Sean Evans, you finally made it.
So it's funny that they did this, since we had a little bit of a snafu trying to remember if it was an SNL sketch or a real thing that happened.
So hard.
Yeah.
Ashley and I were watching it. And
Did you like this?
We just talked about this. I was so happy.
Now, what did you guys think about it? How did it compare to the first version?
I don't think it caught the magic of the first one.
It
I
didn't.
agree.
But I still enjoyed myself.
Physical
The
comedy.
lotion in the mouth thing was
oh my god,
hilarious.
it's so good.
Throws a glass of milk in these. What did you say? Kill yourself, Gollum.
Yeah.
And like, where are we with taking the bones out and put the bones back in? Like, there were some very fun turns of phrase in there.
Because of Maya Rudolph, though.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
It didn't add anything new, though. There was nothing that like the Beavis and Butthead sketch was a second sketch to that. What was the first one that they did? Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
And so they escalated that, right? They made it even better in the second one. They didn't do that to this one.
And I think this was a detriment in the first time they did it too. I do think that there's a problem of them being too dedicated to recreating what the vibe of Hot Ones is, and there's too much like dead space. And they try to fill it by having silly names for the hot sauces.
So I wish that like that's the only time. Well, I mean, I want to write for SNL my entire life, but just sitting there and coming up with the names,
The fake hot sauces.
that would just be so much fun.
Yeah,
Satan's asshole, whatever they did. Like, oh man, that's a good day at the office. I don't care who you are.
that's true. That's very true.
I know. I did read though. A lot of people online loved this one.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I mean, people love Maya Rudolph's Beyonce, and doing anything about Beyonce these days.
And
the
people online
lotions-
are watching Hot Ones too because it's an
Yeah.
online show.
course.
I'll give it to Sean Evans. He's a great.
He's an
interviewer.
amazing
It's a
interviewer.
great
Fantastic.
show.
interview.
He's so good at his job that there are supercuts of times where celebrities stop the interview to say, "That's a great question.
Yeah,
like
I've never been asked that
or
before."
how did you find that out?
Exactly. And I remember watching him season 1. I was an early adopter of this. I don't. No.
I was there before. It was cool.
I don't watch anything on YouTube. It was the only show because I like hot wings. I like hot sauce. So I looked it up for that reason. And then I was like, who in the fuck is this guy? And why is he bringing up T-Pain's middle school
beginning, it was, like,
basketball?
rappers,
Yeah, he
right?
loved to interview
Yeah,
rappers.
did
He
so
still
many
does.
rappers to start with.
I mean, that's just who
It's all he could get,
he
right?
He really liked them.
But it's funny. He started with rappers, then he went to comedians, and then that's when like more famous people started.
And
coming
now
in.
it's like everyone,
You-
right? Like
You're not famous unless you've done Hot Ones
Yeah,
now. Like
it's
it's like hosting
amazing.
SNL. It's
Yeah.
like being asked to do that is a rite of passage now.
Yeah.
You got these. So who's the most famous person that's done Hot Ones then?
Didn't Obama do it?
I don't think Obama. No, he did Between Two Ferns,
That's true.
oh, that
which is still a huge thing.
Um,
I mean, Kevin Hart's done it. He's probably one of the bigger stars in the world that's done it. Has The Rock done it?
I don't know.
I don't think The Rock has done it.
Will Ferrell's done it a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of A-list stars who've done it
Yeah,
these
I just
days,
want to
you
say
know?
like who's the biggest.
I mean,
star in
I
the
think
world?
there's a
Is there a Beyonce level? That's
I mean,
done
like
it?
who other than like former presidents hasn't pretty much everyone. I mean, Steven Spielberg hasn't done it, right? But like
But he doesn't really do filmmaking
I was like,
either.
dude, it would be hilarious to just get older because like it would kill Biden.
Clint Eastwood.
This one's called The Mule.
That's what SNL should do. Is like just do like pick people
panel.
who haven't done
Yeah,
Hot Ones
exactly.
yet. Yeah.
Do
Okay,
the impersonations.
connecting Hot Ones to SNL. Did you guys see the Conan O'Brien Hot Ones?
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
I mean, if you've not seen it,
Fantastic.
it is.
One of
so-
the best Hot Ones episodes they've ever
just
done.
one of the best things I've seen on YouTube.
I can't.
Yep.
When you know Conan O'Brien's going to go for it, and you're still surprised, that's the best.
As an aside, too, if you're a Conan fan, you should watch Conan O'Brien Must Go on Max because it's hilarious. 4 episodes, easy breezy.
But looking at the cast or the guests for Hot Ones in season 23, which is the current season,
the pantheon, if you will.
you've got Sydney Sweeney, John Oliver, Barry Keoghan, thank you, Lil Dicky, Quinta Brunson, Finn Wolfhard, Jamie Dornan, Zayn Malik, Gwyneth Paltrow, Ice Spice, Shakira, and Conan O'Brien. I mean, you can argue that maybe you're not an Ice Spice fan. Ice Spice is huge though,
Yeah.
right? Like these are huge guests,
Big
and
time.
they get pretty much who they want to get.
I mean,
right?
like in the history, right? Gordon Ramsay, Paul Rudd, Dave Grohl. Daniel
Dave Grohl was a
Neil
great
deGrasse Tyson has done it.
Burton Ernie.
Do you know
Shaquille O'Neal has done it. He's probably one of the bigger ones.
another great episode? If you've not seen it, is the Jennifer Lawrence one.
Yes.
She's fantastic.
Yes, and not just for the reasons you're thinking.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to Saturday Night Live, guys.
Maybe.
Please don't destroy Explore page. Ben Marshall, John Higgins, and Martin Herlihy, who also co-wrote the sketch with Will Steven, are having dinner with their girlfriends, Ego Wodum, Chloe Feynman, and Sarah Sherman, and then they're forced to play a game where they must reveal their Instagram Explore pages. Maya Rudolph appears as Eunice Confidence, and Marcelo Hernandez appears as a waiter. Guys, let's get out our Instagram Explore pages right now and talk about what's on them.
Hey Ben, talk about what's on yours.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I'm gonna guess
is
there's a
it
lot of awkward videos.
Wait, is that the search function?
no?
I still don't really understand what it is.
So it is. It's when you go to your search
Oh.
page and that's what appears there as real.
And it's gonna-
So the little magnifying glass.
Yeah.
So I just clicked that.
And it's gonna be a lot of probably awkward videos.
Okay, it is. Yeah, great job, Nate.
I have a lot of pictures of Dua Lipa on mine. So
Do you really?
yeah.
Let me open mine up.
Funny clips, Dua Lipa.
Mine are likely going to be dogs because
Britney Spears.
I like a lot of dog videos.
Looks like I've got.
But Ben, hey, explain to you why you have so many. Explain to our listeners why you have so many.
Nate
awkward
has
videos.
decided to try to ruin my algorithm
and
by
he
sending
succeeded.
me so many cringy videos of like got people looking at the camera and going, "Hey, girl."
That guy is so great.
Let me just tell you, girl, I love you. Oh yeah, no, it's just I got a lot of hot dog memes and basketball and some roast videos. It's pretty. And there's a couple boobs. There's a couple boobs. Not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you. Yeah.
But I actually love this. I thought it was hilarious.
It was a very funny sketch.
Kudos to whoever was the makeup.
The neck makeup was just awful. It just looks. I mean, by awful I mean it looks so good that it made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I felt that phone in my throat.
The 911 call through his neck was good.
And the blurred swinging of her boobs.
Oh, that got me so good.
That was the top notch, the best part of the sketch.
Laughed out loud for sure.
Yeah. And this is I love when Maya Rudolph does like older characters like this too, when you can hear it in her voice and just what she brings to it.
Yeah. No, this was great.
Can we talk again though? Please Don't Destroy gets escalation, right?
Yeah.
This sketch just kept on escalating,
Yeah.
and it kept on getting better.
I just like you knew where it's going, right? As soon as they say the guys, and they're all just like, "Oh, let's not do that."
This is going to ruin the night.
But that's the thing though, is you know where it's going, and you want to see what kind of devices they're going to use. Yep. So throwing it into the soup or whatever was funny to me, right?
Yeah.
And then is there a bird? Like it was just
they all three look at the bird, right?
There was also a great setup early on too, where they're it feels like an innocent part of the conversation because they're talking about going somewhere for like their honeymoon or something to Sioux Falls. Like, wait, this is why we're going to Sioux Falls?
Sioux Falls?
I actually really like this. I thought it was really funny.
No, it was very
clever. Yeah.
All right, teacher PSA. A group of teachers, Maya Rudolph, Keenan Thompson, Heidi Gardner, Andrew Dismukes, Ego Wodum, Punky Johnson, James Dawson Johnson, Bowen Yang, Sarah Sherman, and Michael Longfellow.
My goodness.
Deliver an end-of-year public service announcement and declare that the students have officially won.
Sit down. That's it. I needed to hear that.
That's
and spell it.
Yeah.
TSIDD.
When it got pushed together and she said it, I laughed out loud, and every time she did it, I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
That is enough for me to think this is a good sketch. Overall, it's fine. I
say this word about 628 times a day.
Yeah, I will say this was an okay
It's
sketch.
fine.
I guarantee you that if you talk to any teachers, it's been passed around and they absolutely loved it, and I'm sure it hit with them perfectly fine. But I felt like it was just missing some kind of secret sauce to like really make it hit. It kind of felt like
I was hoping for that what Ego said. I was looking for 3 or 4 versions of that.
Yeah.
Where it's like this is really funny even if you're not a teacher.
And it almost felt like there should have been a little more specificity to it. Like it almost
broad
like it
strokes,
didn't
sure.
really feel like it dug in enough. Like I feel like there would have been a lot more that and maybe it's because none of them are teachers. Yeah. So and I don't know why they went this route instead of just doing something that would have been like a much more convincing backdrop. Awful green screen.
Oh, I thought you said the only
Terrible
It
green
was really
screen.
bad green screen.
It was really lazy, bad green screen to the point that
Chloe Feynman was where I noticed it worse.
Yeah.
Like it was really bad.
and like when they were moving the camera too, like I hate when the green screen wiggles because of like what they're doing with the camera. Like at the very least, they should have had just like a real fake backdrop.
And I wonder if this is because this was they shuffled things around and they actually did use this when they weren't going to use it, and
Maybe. Maybe.
I will say Ego did very well in this sketch.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
she was
she's
very, very
fantastic.
funny.
Yeah, she was the standout in this one for sure. But otherwise, this sketch I was just lukewarm
Exactly.
on.
It was good. It was fine. It was better than bad, I think. You know.
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but again, if you don't have Ego's character in there, it's
But I
really
can
not
see,
great.
like you said, Brad, I can see why educators would find this sketch very
100%.
funny because I
Yeah.
think it's very much
on point.
what their experiences are right now as they're ending the school year.
Yeah, 100%. All right, British cavemen. One that Ben, I'm sure, just ate up.
It's all I can think about. It's all I can think about as I watch this is Ben.
This is what he hears whenever he hears British people talk.
Anybody's British, fucking so stupid. Oh yeah.
Our listeners might not know this because I think this is a go fix yourself
That's true.
conversation.
Yeah, Ben frequently makes fun of the British accent, and
Mainly though, if there's like a woman that is British that these two find attractive, I'm like, Oh yeah, no, because they're. Oh, let me have your name.
Yeah, whether it's Dua Lipa, whether it's Emily Blunt. Yeah,
whatever.
He's saying their accent is terrible and not sexy.
It's not.
And every accent was you doing a British accent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This sketch, they heard me. The writers responded to my letters. And they made a sketch for me. I loved it.
This was
notes.
a little bit of a throwback because it was just dumb.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was just fun and dumb.
It was very stupid. Nat Geo airs a special look at British cavemen with James Austin Johnson hosting, and then Maya Rudolph, Bowen Yang, Marcelo Hernandez, Molly Carney, Chloe Trost, Chloe Feynman, Andrew Dismukes, Heidi Gardner, Ego Woda, Mikey Day, and Kenan Thompson appearing as British cavemen, and Sarah Sherman making a brief appearance as a French cave woman.
You know what? I was also thinking. This would have been a better sketch for Mick Jagger to do a cameo.
That's true.
It's very true.
Because Mikey Day appears as Mick Jagger caveman.
It was good. This was just so stupid. I loved it.
I thought it was okay. This was one where I did like the premise of it, and I appreciated how well they did the various British accents without actually saying any words.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the most impressive things to me as far as performers go. That was funny to see. But yeah, it was such a one note thing.
I see, but I think that it's okay though, because this is one of the rare times where I don't need any escalation because the variety was so across the board. I was waiting for everybody else to do their
there's
version.
like a category for me that it's so dumb it's funny kind of sketch, and that's what this was for me. It was so dumb it's funny.
It was varied enough that I was on board. It didn't go too long.
It never quite hit that level for me because I do appreciate a good stupid sketch.
Yep.
And this is it's right on the cusp, and I just wish there was something a little bit more.
I can see that. There was some more there.
The
Mick
Jagger stuff was
found.
a little weird. It was fine. Ending with Sarah Sherman as a French cave person, sure. Yeah, loved it.
Ben just loves making fun of British people, I think.
But I loved the stupid British accents. It was just so great.
And they gave Kenan the actual words.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
What was it? It's a lot of blood, isn't it?
It's a bit hot in it.
It's a bit hot in it. That's what it was.
It's a bit hot in it.
All right, next sketch. Can You Pick Me Up? A pre-tape where Maya Rudolph plays a mom who has to make up excuses to pick her daughter up from a sleepover without embarrassing her. Mikey Day, Heidi Gardner, and Kenan Thompson also appear. This one may have been written by Ryan Spears. He posted about it on his Insta. It didn't necessarily make it clear if it's because he wrote it or
usually
what his involvements were.
Yeah, usually.
He didn't mention anybody else either, so I don't know if it was a solo effort, but it seems like he was involved in some capacity.
This did you guys ever do that when you were a kid? Have your parents come and pick you up from a sleepover?
I did.
I did once, and it's because
they were smoking in the house.
The friend that I was staying at had a baby brother who was not wearing a diaper, and he pissed on my bag. And I was like, "Mom, I got to get out of here."
It's just ironic as an adult though, like that you're into that.
Please piss on my bags.
I actually really, really enjoyed this, and I love the escalation of it. What got me was the cicadas.
I like Kenan as the dad being like, "Oh, she's having a period."
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly
so
what it would be. I thought it was cute. It was clever. It was nice.
That's the thing for me. It was more cute than it was clever. I wanted it to be funnier, and I thought it was going to escalate and get to a point where it was a little more absurd, a little sharper. But it did feel like it intentionally leaned into more of that. Like, this is one of those, like...
It was a sketch for parents like me.
Yeah,
right?
it was one of those soft things where it's like you get the heart of it, and you appreciate it on a certain level.
And you could when SNL's doing that because of the way it ends.
Exactly.
Right? When it is a soft, sentimental end to it, it means you were never going to get a sharp, visceral take.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But again, I was hoping for more silliness.
But for me, like... the ones that I love that are like this are like the ones where they do the holiday stuff, where like they are showing like the nice family moments and then cutting to the shitty family moments, because they ends on a very heartwarming moment all the time.
Right.
And I like that. And this, I was hoping for something like that, but it just never quite got like to be truly hilarious.
There's
for
so
me.
many things because again, this is a playground.
Yeah.
You could have done any joke there,
and that's the thing too, is they do so many different punchlines, but like none of them were like absolutely laugh out loud hilarious to me, except for the cicadas. Cicadas was hilarious.
We're Here to Arrest the Girl also made me laugh. But
that's good.
I think this is a sketch where you could send to even your non-SNL fan friends, right? Like,
oh yeah.
or your grandma, or like this just seems like
there was a
very
lot of sketches
family...
that were very friendly to like be able to send your family and be like, oh, you'll appreciate this.
Yeah, and I don't know, because maybe Maya Rudolph has 4 kids, and like I don't know if she just genuinely liked making this because she had this experience maybe. But I liked it. It was saccharine, right? But
yeah, you know who Maya Rudolph's husband is, right?
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Correct, Nate.
Oh, I was gonna say Pope John.
By the
Francis.
way, I never win quizzes like that, so kudos.
Good
to
job,
me.
buddy.
Yeah, I know. If you ever listen to our other podcast, Go Fix Yourself, you know I'm the worst game player.
Not great, but you you try.
He doesn't.
No,
know,
I usually get one right a game, and that's it.
He doesn't know a lot of things.
I don't know barely anything.
All right, weekend update with Colin Jost and Michael Che. Weekend update anchors Colin Jost and Michael Che tackle the week's biggest news, like Stormy Daniels' testimony about having sex with Donald Trump, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s parasitic brainworm, Kim Kardashian's Met Gala dress, and a cruise ship worker attacking 3 people with scissors. Now, every week we talk about what co-host Brad Oman thinks about Weekend Update, and it's the Bradometer, where he tries to pinpoint exactly how good the interaction was between Michael Che and Colin Jost. There's there has to be a certain camaraderie, friendship, playfulness,
spiritual
banter,
connection.
Yeah, fun happening between them. This week, what do you guys think the Bradometer?
Do you have your calculator out?
I'm gonna type it in. I'm gonna type it in right now.
Yeah, because we don't trust you.
Yeah, we don't trust you. And then put your phone down.
And trust has just been abused in this podcast.
It's very true. We put it down. I always go first. I'm going to let you go first this time. I really do go first a lot. So I'm going to let you guess first.
This was hard for me. This one was hard for me because, A, I'm just not good at this in general. But B...
Also, lately, they have been on kind of a tear of, like, the barometer has been quite high lately.
Yep. But I didn't think this was bad, though.
No.
Did you think it was bad?
Nope.
No.
I thought it was pretty high.
And there's some good jokes here. Michael Che, he's on. I just love Michael Che being Michael Che.
If he does what he's doing right now and has done for the past 3 episodes, and he finishes the season, I'll be very happy. He's just calling himself out. He's saying that I love this episode. This is Miami episode. Like he just doesn't care. I love it.
But I do think it's lower than previous ones. So I'm going to go with 79%.
82.
Nate wins because it is. Unlock my phone. 80.
Oh.
Yes.
So you brought up the Michael Che thing. That fits into it a little bit, but it would have been better if Jost was reacting to what Che was doing. It was very one-sided. Che reacting to the audience.
Correct. Yeah. No,
there was still a little bit of back and
a little bit.
No,
they were both having fun though.
Yes.
Undeniable.
I want to comment that Michael Che, I am gonna miss him so much as a Weekend Update host when he's no longer in that seat. More so, and I don't know if I would have realized this when he became the Weekend Update guy, right? That where he's at now and the confidence he has and the fun he has, almost Norm Macdonald-like at times.
For sure, especially with the jokes he goes for, because he loves the groaners.
He's the most like Norm Macdonald since Norm Macdonald, and it's by far.
And I feel like he's only evolved in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I love it. I just love it so much.
Yeah,
I agree.
He will. I mean, obviously, they're going to do the 50th, and they're going to do the last season, and then maybe he'll move on beyond that. But we're going to get another year. Of Colin Jost and Michael Che, and I just can't wait for when Michael Che truly knows he's done, and then that little run towards the end. I mean, who knows? What
I do wonder if he'll be done after the 50th season.
I think so.
It's going to be. There's going to be so much evolution after that 50th season.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens. I'll be curious if Lorne Michaels really has his eye on retirement after 50 years. If he'll let somebody take over.
He is 81, right? He's.
I actually don't know how old it is, but he's definitely up there.
Yeah,
but still does. Every time I see him, I'm like, this dude still got it.
No, I mean he clearly knows what he's doing. But they did just set the 50th anniversary special for SNL. Will be happening in February of 2025.
He'll be 80 in November, Ben.
It will be on a Sunday though, they're
doing a whole weekend.
Yeah, and some people are commenting like Sunday. It's like fucking Sunday, because that's what they did when they did the fucking 40th too. You assholes! Like it's a prime time special. You don't do it on Saturday because no one's watching.
You want
TV
everyone
on
to
Saturday.
watch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be an incredible shift. All I know is it's going to keep on going. SNL will keep on going.
Oh, yeah.
Back to Weekend Update, though. One of my favorite jokes was Colin Jost, who did
the Marvel joke.
Yeah, it was just so good. It was just so good.
It was really good.
I love it when he mentions his wife. I love the inside baseball stuff. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah. Of course. All right, so we had 2 guests at the Weekend Update desk. The first one, which was actually alluded to in the Mother's Day opening, in case you guys didn't notice that, we have Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s Brainworm, played by Sarah Sherman, who stops by to endorse RFK Jr. for president. This was written by Josh Patton and Jake Nordwin with Sarah Sherman. What did you guys think of Sarah Sherman's wild Brainworm
Sarah
performance?
Sherman only does Weekend Update stuff to roast Colin Jost. And I'm here for it every time.
Roasty Joasty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although this didn't feel like it was a full-on
it wasn't as bad as
Jost
it
roast.
gets.
So yeah, I that was actually what I was gonna say.
You wish she would have more of it?
It was. I was thinking it was gonna go there more, and it didn't. And but again, I don't know that it made it necessarily bad. Like, I still enjoyed this.
It was still
very
fine.
much.
Yeah, I didn't. This was one of my favorite Sarah Sherman bits at the Weekend Update desk. I love that she was into it. It's a weird thing. The costume was really funny. Not one of my favorites, but I still enjoyed it. Yeah.
No, she's very good at her job. I would have, of course, loved some more roasty Joasty.
Yeah, it wasn't weird enough for me for Sarah Sherman. Like, it needed to be just a little bit weirder.
Especially when you're talking about a
brain
hopeful
worm.
presidential candidate legitimately talking about having a brain worm.
And wanting to eat 5 more.
And saying that he would be perfectly fine.
Oh, boy.
Jesus Christ, this fucking guy. All right. Heidi Gardner appears as a woman who insists she's not mad. She stops by to discuss Mother's Day gifts. This one was written by Sarah. Is it Sierra or Sarah? I always forget.
It's
September.
Sierra,
Because it's spelled like it could be Sierra, but it also could be a weird spelling of Sarah.
I'm gonna confess something to our listeners. I have to look this up often because I forget, and I even write down the pronunciation and then I forget.
Still forget.
But it's actually either. It actually might be Kara.
Ooh, that's a third option that I was considering.
Well, we'd like to apologize.
Maybe it's Kiara, too.
I know, right? Like, it's just...
Anyway.
it's very Irish.
O'Sullivan and Heidi Gardner wrote this one. What did you guys think of Heidi Gardner's
This is Heidi Gardner doing Heidi Gardner. Like, she's done this character in different elements.
Variations,
so many times.
So the thing that elevates this one for me is the physicality. Her demeanor overall and the boxing wife that she's done before and whatever, that's all voice. This physicality of, like, when she was trying to get up and leave but didn't actually get up and leave and had to kind of fake 3 times, and her body just, like, the jarring movements. I was really laughing.
I think the difference for me with this as opposed to the other characters the other characters she's done are that those other characters feel like they're coming from a place of parody when it comes to, like, movie characters or actual characters who's seen. This has, like, an air of reality about it.
I said this gave me PTSD.
Yeah, because she nails, like, the tone, the facial expressions of, like, we feel that because, you know, we're dudes and we've had girlfriends and
also idiots.
We've had wives.
I'm pretty dumb.
So yeah, it worked on that level for me, and that's why I still appreciate it.
I'm not mad.
Yeah, no, I was watching this sitting next to my girlfriend, and I was laughing and being like, we've had moments.
You've had that experience
where I'm
before.
like, shit, I've seen that. I've literally seen that before. And she, by the way, she was right.
Is it Mailer Damon?
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah. That was a great little joke.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Colin
Nice little
Jost
nerdy
assistant.
joke.
Yeah, exactly. For those of us nerds. So
I understood that reference.
I thought it was good. I thought it was fine. Like, it was Heidi Gardner doing Heidi Gardner.
Yeah, it was
right?
it was solid. I wasn't blown away by it, but I did laugh, and I liked her performance.
Also, she's very attractive.
Ben, every time.
Just
She's
reel
so
it in.
pretty. She's so pretty and so talented.
You don't have a chance.
And stop sending the letters too.
Like,
Well,
we
listen,
literally had a cease and desist letter sent to this podcast.
The British caveman sketch happened, and now I'm just waiting for Heidi to respond to me, okay?
Yeah.
It's one thing after another here, boys.
Yikes. All right, guys. The next sketch, coffee commercial. A taping for a coffee commercial with a famous actress played by Maya Rudolph goes off the rails thanks to caffeine and farts. Bowen Yang, Heidi Gardner, and Chloe Trost also appear. Did you guys know that this is based on a real series of commercials?
I did, with Lauren Bacall.
Yes, correct. These are
Again,
real
yeah.
commercials featuring Lauren Bacall that do have a similar vibe, except, of course, Maya Rudolph takes it in a much different direction. This was another sketch that, like, it felt very silly, felt kind of like a throwback. I wasn't expecting the farts. I thought it was going to be purely a caffeine like gradual thing, more hyper, speaking quicker. But the farts added a whole other stupid dynamic to it that I was not prepared for.
I bet if we got to talk to Maya Rudolph, and hopefully one day we will, she is going to be like us, and she's going to say, I still laugh at fart jokes.
Obviously.
Right? I mean, because there's just so many fart jokes, or just like with Maya Rudolph, that she knows it's funny stuff.
When the turn hits and it's like, oh no, I've never had this before, then I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so ready for whatever's coming next, because now I know what the turn is. Fuck, let's go. And then of course it running through it, I wasn't expecting it either. It made me laugh.
And it got to the point too where the farts were like echoing the tone of her voice, which was really funny.
Yep.
And one thing I appreciate about a good fart, like
one thing I appreciate about a good fart
scenario like this, is they didn't use any of like the familiar canned fart sounds like that you expect to hear. Like there's a certain soundboard where there's lazy fart sounds. They didn't use any of those for this one. These were all fresh farts. And I mean this genuinely too. I hate there's like 5 or 6 fart sounds where I'm like, I've heard that fucking fart so many times before and I'm sick of it. These were great new fart sounds.
They had the sound editors get out and
be
like,
did.
Hey, buddy, we're going to eat some really crappy food.
Yeah.
And we're recording these.
We're gonna go to the bathroom at the subway platform, and we need new farts.
That one was you line got me really good. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that one was you.
Yeah.
It does remind me of the bridesmaid scene though, where they have diarrhea and just like, because Maya Rudolph talking about farts and all these kind of things. And if you've not seen Bridesmaids, you are missing out on one of the greatest comedies of the last.
I can't imagine there's like more than 5 people who haven't.
I hope.
It's
you're surprised.
Phenomenal.
Sometimes. But there is a scene in there where they get diarrhea, and Maya Rudolph is a part of that scene.
And she's pretty.
And Kristen Chenoweth is.
Kristen Chenoweth.
I know,
Secret Bridesmaid star.
Kristen Wiig.
Yes.
And
Melissa McCarthy.
Some other great actresses.
Wendy McClendon Covey.
One of the funniest scenes in a comedy that I think I've ever seen.
Also, her elitist dismissal of everyone in the room. Right? Who are you? She needs to go. And like
very Lauren Bacall.
I'm the director. Like I can't go.
I don't like this one.
Yeah.
No, wait, I like this one.
Yeah, Punky Johnson. That was great.
So that was the coffee commercial.
So did you like it or no?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that.
I thought it was pretty good.
Next sketch, Nurse Appreciation. A group of nurses, played by Maya Rudolph, Ego Wodum, Chloe Fineman, and Molly Carney, share why they love being a nurse. Also features James Austin Johnson as Dr. Jeffrey Reed and Mikey Day as an elderly man. What did you guys think of this sketch?
This like the teacher sketch, I think this would kill amongst the nurses, right?
Yeah.
But I was married to a nurse, so I get some of this, but like it's not great.
It just seemed very easy. Like,
yeah,
and I don't mean like easy to write. I just mean like the jokes themselves were just like stuff that we could have come up with.
What was his name? Curtis or something? Curtis, if you see the light, go to it. Like
yeah. Like talk about the like if you were to have a focus group and say list the worst things that you probably would think about being a nurse at like working at a nursing home.
These were the things you would hear, right?
Yeah, exactly. They didn't feel particularly clever or anything like that.
And nursing homes suck, right? And it is like the lower echelon. So my brother's a speech language therapist at a nursing home, and every other area of speech language therapy is better than nursing home. He works there because it pays the best, right? But he recognizes it's like the worst part of healthcare, working in nursing homes.
And
but like
these are very basic premises. These are very basic jokes. I did like the catheter joke. Like it's like putting a straw inside of another straw.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like that. There's some stuff here that was fine, but overall it's like, you know, I looked at SNL because these people are literal comic geniuses. Like they're awesome at this, and I wanted more.
It felt very stale.
Yeah.
Like it just
like it almost felt like something like that they were like forced to put in. Like, guys, it's Nurses Appreciation Week. Let's get something out there for the nurses.
Let me say this. We're gonna get to this, but the Cut for Time sketch, I would have included the Cut for Time sketch over either this one or the
teacher's
educator
PSA.
ones.
I did think of that, but I also did look at the length, and the Cut for Time
You'd
sketch
have to get
is too long.
both the teachers and the nurses one out of there.
And then you have 2 minutes.
And
to
I'd still make that. I'd still make that.
make that.
I would rather have someone stall for 2 minutes.
The good nights would be 2 minutes long, and there's just like Lorne Michaels over there doing the expand movement with his hands, and Maya Rudolph's vamping for 2 minutes at the end with Vampire Weekend's stupid fucking sports jerseys. No, whatever.
That's just a weird complaint you have. It's like it makes sense. Like they're all
doesn't
wearing
make
different.
sense.
They're all wearing different sports teams that they support.
Vampire Weekend, by the way.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But like, it's a band doing a band thing. What does it matter?
Yeah, like fucking grow up.
Stupid.
All right, guys. The last official sketch of the evening, Landscaping Service. A couple played by Maya Rudolph and Mikey Day advertised their unique landscaping company that only hires hopeless, sexless, socially awkward zeros, as played by Kenan Thompson, Andrew Dismukes, Devin Walker, and James Austin Johnson, with Chloe Feynman, Sarah Sherman, Heidi Gardner, and Michael Longfellow also appearing as clients. What did you guys think of this sketch? This was a 10-to-1 sketch.
This was very. I thought Dismukes and James Austin Johnson did well.
You really think this is a 10-to-1 sketch?
Yeah, for sure. It had the right amount of weird with it, like mixed with like a live commercial parody.
Okay. I just didn't think it was weird. Like lately, the weird shit happens all the time.
No,
so
I mean comparatively, but like I think in this episode it's a 10-to-1 sketch. Yeah.
If they would have gotten to why the company exists earlier than they did, I would have liked this better.
But I also didn't mind that it took them that long to get there because the appearances by the dudes themselves were really funny to me.
Sure.
And as a small business owner, as you are, like in the construction kind of world, we know lawn care companies that are not that dissimilar to this. So there was a little bit of humor for me in that.
Also, I knew 2 of these 4 guys in high school.
You were one of them.
I thought it was pretty funny. I didn't think it was great. But
it gives them the opportunity, them meaning the 4 gentlemen that got the opportunity to be spastic and weird. Those are fun characters for them to play for
I laughed out loud at Devin Walker's when she's like, "Can you trim the hedge?" Okay.
Yeah, that was really funny.
But I like this, and I like I said, I liked the getting to the point of it, which was Maya Rudolph and Mikey Day having this rocky marriage history.
Okay, so
especially because that itself had escalation in it. It'd be like,
yes.
No, it wasn't just this; it happened 2 more times, and
it wasn't just with the one; it was with the other.
Postpartum depression. Our kid was in college.
So
yeah, Mikey Day's reactions were pretty funny.
So maybe it's not that it took so long to get there; it's that they didn't go then long enough. Because I was enjoying that so much, I wish it would have kept going.
Yeah,
I wanted to see more of that dynamic between those 2. It was great.
Solution.
Solution.
Cut out.
We're gonna fix this sketch.
Cut out.
I could have got 2 more minutes.
That's what I say. Get 2 more minutes out of that one. Yep. Cut the nursing one out. Cut the education one out. Put the Cut for Time in.
And hey, we're done. And now
bada bing, bada boom,
we're taking over for Lorne Michaels.
We did it, guys. All right, so we do have one more sketch to go over because there was a Cut for Time sketch.
Go to the YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube.
Yes, go to the Saturday Night Live YouTube if you want to see it. This is TT and Mario's new album. Now, did you guys realize that this was a recurring sketch?
I didn't know.
This was the 2nd time they have done this sketch. Do you know what the first time was?
Well, we both just admitted we didn't know that, so I'm going to say no.
I'm going to ask if you can figure it out. And out of all the SNL episodes that there have been in the past, if you
I'm going to say one of Maya Rudolph's appearances.
That's correct. But not when she hosted.
No!
When she was a cast member.
In 2013, I just looked it up.
No, that's wrong.
The best of TT and Mario. It says
it's not. That's not from 2013. That's when it was published. The sketch itself.
Oh, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It was another sketch where it was a commercial parody about these 2 doing another album where it had Jason Bateman as the host and Amy Poehler as the cast member. It was in season 30 in 2005. And this one, the first one, was actually just of them doing sex songs that had like gross and like funny angles to it. And obviously this one, it's been 20 years almost. They've aged the characters and now they're having sexy songs that are interrupted by the normal problems that come with having marriage.
Do you know what's crazy to me to think about is that Kenan Thompson was in the cast when Maya Rudolph was
and he hasn't aged a day.
No,
just the same.
But like they were in the cast together. Is that just crazy?
It is nuts. I wonder about that dynamic when a host comes, or when a former cast member, especially somebody from that era, comes back and Kenan is still there. How many private conversations do they have about like remember when, or is it more of a just like a normal, hey, great to see you and we're back at it? I'm sure Kenan has long time friendships with some people, but I've never really read into that too much. Like, because he's been a part of so many casts, does he latch on to any one of those and still like is he calling up people from 2007's cast or 2013's cast to get together?
Kenan is such an interesting story because again, this doesn't happen, right?
Right.
He is a unicorn in SNL. But I have listened to interviews with him, and people will always ask, when are you going to be done? Right? Like, essentially because you're like 10 to 12 years past your like. Usually cast members go 7 years.
7 years, right?
And he's like, I'm gonna go forever.
He
doesn't
see any reason to stop. Yeah, he loves doing it, and like, why would you? Why,
And as we know, as we watch and dissect every episode, Kenan is a performer that performs at a high level every
every single time.
He is an addition to this cast.
And I don't mean this as a slight against him either, but like, he's not the kind of performer who's like, he's not a Will Ferrell or something. He's not going to go off and have like a movie deal where he's leading movies all the time. Like, he'll appear in movies every now and then. He does when he's on that
TV show.
Had his own TV show.
Life.
Yeah, had his own TV show. And
yes, he did.
Yeah, and so like, if he can keep doing, he can do those things, and he can keep doing SNL. Like, why wouldn't you?
I'm sure he's getting paid pretty well to do it.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing that I think makes him a rarity. He has recurring characters, but only for the time period of like when the cast is together. What's up with that? He did for a while, but it's not like, oh, we're going to do that every 2 years.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring that back, or every year he's going to do one. No, it's just when that core group of people is together, Sudeikis and Fred Armisen and him. That was great, and then now they don't do it anymore.
No, he has one recurring that just keeps on living. Who is that?
Reese DeWhat?
And I'm fine with that, but that's just him.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that's fine. But again, he's got all of these where they're like time capsules, where it's like he had a recurring bit.
I was thinking about that the other day because one of my favorite bits that he ever did is the Scared Straight sketches.
Yes,
and I was like, man,
they don't do
that in forever. Yeah,
because Sudeikis was the cop, right?
Also, I wondered too, and I'd have to look into this. It's maybe listen to some interviews, but when the writers leave of those sketches,
what I was just thinking,
that's part of it too.
They don't hand those off, right? That's their sketches.
And I think that there probably is that too, right? Where it's like, I don't want to try to step into X's shoes to write this sketch, but also these days, Steve Castillo comes back and writes. Like, you can bring writers back.
That's what I was going to say. We've seen this before, where they'll bring a writer back and pay them just for a sketch,
because they want to use
they've got a host or whatever.
So guys, if you're listening to the British caveman Ben Konowitz over here, bring back Scared Straight. Okay, let's do one.
That was actually one of the things that Vanessa Bayer talked about when she did her episode of The Good One, and they talked about Jacob the Bar Mitzvah.
Is it just Good One? Because the podcast is Good One.
It is just Good One, yeah. And so it's this is the podcast I'm talking about. And so Vanessa Bayer talked about that, about how like Jacob went away for a little while because the writers that initially did it with him weren't there anymore, even though she was still on the show. But then they came back and they did the farewell with Jacob and everything. So so the president is there to like do it if certain people come back and that kind of thing. Because I would love to see another Scared Straight sketch. It's one of my favorite bits.
Yeah, that's a really great bit.
8 Scared Straights between 2008 and 2012.
Oh. Yeah. So what did you guys think of the latest version? With Maya Rudolph and Kenan Thompson.
It's too long, but it's still clever. There's good stuff there, but I didn't.
I liked TT and Mario. I like. There was some really funny lines that we watched this one together. The three of us. We don't always watch
song titles were very funny.
Yep. I thought what was it? Have sex, go to sleep, or something like that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Michael Longfellow's dryness was.
Michael Longfellow was great in this, I thought.
Actually, it's so funny that they put Longfellow in this sketch because he has a very Bateman-esque quality about him, so it kind of worked in that way.
Yeah, he could do Teen Wolf 3.
I thought it was good.
Threen Wolf.
Threen Wolf?
I thought it was good. It wasn't great, but it was a good
I agree.
sketch.
It was better, but like we said, it was better than the teacher sketch and the nurse's sketch, and could have replaced him with this one.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so that's our episode. Who was first, what was your favorite sketch of the night?
Favorite sketch of the night? Nate, you want to go first?
I don't know.
I'm probably going to do the Please Don't Destroy.
That's what I was thinking. But there wasn't a sketch in this episode that was...
Fall down, laugh out loud.
There was some good sketches. Right?
I do have a definite favorite, though.
You do?
It's
okay.
British Caveman, I know.
I'm going to go with the Please Don't Destroy. I like that one.
That one's close, but for me, it's coffee commercial.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I loved Maya Rudolph in this sketch,
Okay.
and I loved the escalation from me not knowing or thinking that I knew what the commercial was going to do, going to the farts, having the farts get increasingly more ridiculous, the interaction with the other characters. I loved her characterization of this fictional famous actress being tangential to like a Lauren Bacall kind of thing.
Sure.
I just really liked how it played out and worked. It just made me laugh a lot.
It was a good sketch. I agree. Yeah,
now, this may be a difficult question, maybe. Who is your MVP?
Well,
it's not difficult.
Hear me out. Yeah, go ahead.
It's Maya Rudolph.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say.
But I think we're on the same page here. It's not because she went above and beyond. It's because she was the one that was
carrying everything.
She carried
Absolutely.
Exactly.
100%. That's exactly what I was going to say.
She wasn't given a ton of great sketches,
but she
everything
literally
she did.
She made a lot of the sketches better.
She Kenan Thompsoned everything.
She did.
Yep, in both the sketches that we like, right?
Yeah.
She was the thing, the magic in those sketches.
And then also, the monologue. My God.
Yeah.
No, not too many people can really pull that off.
That was
in
choreography.
The world. It was awesome.
It was amazing.
So yeah, she deserves it. She was great.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a great episode, but I thought Maya Rudolph was very good in this.
It's one of the rare ones where the episode's not great, but the host is the reason it's not bad.
Usually when the host is great, the episode's good.
Yeah.
She was great. Episode was just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't a bad episode. But
100% agree. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Also, let's get her a couple more times, in the next couple of years. She was there promoting Loot, right? Her new show.
She never said, but I mean that's the thing that's timed to. Yeah.
So what is Jake Gyllenhaal? Jake Gyllenhaal's got a new show coming out. Is that what it is that he's promoting?
Does he?
Is it Roadhouse? Is that what he's going to be talking about?
No, I think he's got a new...
They better do a Roadhouse sketch. That's all I'm saying.
I think he's got a new show, but I don't know what it is because I'm not a Gyllenhaaliac.
A Gyllenhaaliac?
As you guys are.
Gyllenhaalic.
I like the Holiac, but I mean it's fine that you don't.
Either
like
way,
that,
either way.
If you ever want to talk about or listen to us talk about other actors and other movies and stuff, listen to Go Flicks Yourself. It's our other podcast where we assign each other movies and we talk about what we've watched, different movies, TV shows sometimes as well. Ben doesn't like it.
I don't even think I've heard of this. It's his new thing. Is
it an Apple TV Plus show?
It might be.
By the way, I was trying to vamp until you got there, so thank you for doing that.
Presumed Innocent. It's the latest show from David E. Kelly of Ally McBeal and Boston Public and whatever fame, or Boston Legal. Which one is it?
Probably both.
I don't know. But yeah, that's David.
Based
E.
on a novel
by Sapphire, Push by Sapphire.
And so it stars Ruth Negga, Bill Kemp, a bunch of people I don't know. Yeah.
Cool. So Jake Gyllenhaal will be able to promote a show we don't know, and probably do a Roadhouse sketch, and it will wrap up the season as the season finale.
Boston Legal.
Cool.
I loved Boston Legal.
And Boston Public. Same.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Nailed it.
Watch Boston Legal? Did you ever watch
now,
Boston
was
Legal?
Beyonce on Hot Ones, or was that just Saturday Night Live? What was it?
The Practice, Ally McBeal, Chicago Hope.
Practice Makes Perfect.
I didn't know David E. Kelly wrote Mystery Alaska.
Oh, my God. Let's just talk about him.
And Lake Placid.
Okay, now I'm back in. Now I'm back in.
Holy shit. Go Flicks Yourself is going to have a field day with this. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal is hosting the season 49 finale, and that will be the end of this season of Saturday Night Live. That's what
the end of
finale
this
means.
podcast.
Oh boy! Wow.
Just dagger in the sand. I'm done.
God, that means we got to get back to movies.
Stuart saves his family. Stuart saves his family.
He's gonna save him. I know
will.
it. But yeah. So thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. We love that you love SNL as much as we do because we like it a lot.
Sound off in the comments on the Facebooks and let us know what we screwed up on.
Just give us a little comment.
Just tell us what you think.
The10to1.com. That's our website.
That is right. Yeah.
That is our website. That's where we post things.
Yep.
We're real fucking good at this part of the show.
Check out the old.
By the way, just like SNL doesn't know how to end sketches,
we don't know how to end the show.
Podcasts.
Exactly. It's OnlyFans or Arby's or White Castle. Pick one.
Check out the old Facebook where we post about
the old Facebook
about things. You can comment. People
listen to our newest song we put on our MySpace of the latest Hoobastank song.
We got a YouTube channel.
We do.
Come on.
We did it. We did at one point, but Nate gave up on it.
Oh, did he really?
We still post new episodes,
but not clips.
No, great job, Nate. Hey,
clips.
Don't let him talk to you. Is Austin Butler still our number one on YouTube by a billion?
People love Austin
They
Butler.
love Austin Butler.
People love him.
But you know what? I wasn't into Austin Butler until Dune 2, and now I'm like, that dude's got it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what he doing to me, he doing to you. Jesus. And on that note,
guys, thanks for listening. Be good to yourself. Be good to others.
Bye-bye.